Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. Today's video is going to be a reaction to the Belgian entry for this year's Eurovision Song Contest. I'm going to be giving it a musical analysis and a review for the first time. It's my first listen, so please stay tuned to the end of the video where I will be giving this song a score out of 10, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I make tons of content just like this. So a little bit of context as usual about Belgium in the Eurovision Song Contest. They have had a kind of renaissance in the last decade. I feel like from 2015 onwards they just seem to have got a lot better, and then there was a bit of a dip in 2018 with the non-qualification, and last year we had Hooverphonic with The Wrong Place, which was arguably a strong entry from Belgium. It did really well with the juries, but the public didn't really like it so much because it was quite somber and laid back, and I think it just didn't grab enough people. But that being said, I really enjoyed the song and I could understand and appreciate the stuff that it was presenting, and it had some really nice musical ideas in there. So let's see what's happened this year. They have selected Jeremy Makis with the song called Miss You. So let's see what Belgium has done this year. Have they done enough to qualify again 2 years in a row? Let's find out. I sense we're getting a story.
Sometimes I feel down, sometimes I booze, sometimes I fall, sometimes I do wrong.
That looks like a confession thing
cool,
that you get in the Catholic Church.
And I've been trying to escape.
Nice jump there.
Give up on the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase my mind. You stay like a nightmare and I close my eyes. I'm gonna miss you now. Promise I will miss you now. I'm gonna break through now. I'll never hate you, never chase you.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes I feel good.
Ooh.
Sometimes I lose my mind and my soul. That's when I see you.
This is an interesting change.
Blue, I answer your call, and I've been trying to escape my past. Give up on the sadness that you left behind. I've been trying to erase my mind, but you're still like a nightmare, and I close my eyes.
So from the get-go, I think what we're getting here is a blend of traditional and old sounds with the strings, the very Bond theme-esque soundscape, blending that with this modern R&B with a twist, sort of 2000s, the year 2000 type of beat in there. I can hear he might be inspired by the R&B scene from back in around that decade. So that's really nice, and we're getting paired as well with the imagery. We're getting this old Catholic style imagery in here with also the modern clothing. Again, that's not the best description, but I'm kind of running out of words to use for descriptors. So I like that aspect. I think what we've got also is a really nice range of notes. He's not kind of constrained. He's going for it. He's going for those high leaps, big leaps in the notes as well, which is really nice to hear. And nice tones in there. He's sort of using falsetto, but then he's using the full belt sound too. So it's quite promising so far. I'd say the chords are quite nice in places, although it will get a bit repetitive for me if they continue using this chord progression. I feel like there's so much they could do with a singer like this, with a vocal performance like this, and with the depth I could feel in the lyrics and the tone of his voice. So I just feel like chords could be better, but we're only halfway through, so let's keep going. Let's see how this goes from now. A lot of attitude in there.
I'll never
I have to say, the chorus, although I quite like the hook and the melody line of it, overall, if you just look at the big picture, I wouldn't call that a strong chorus. It's a good chorus. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I just think it's lacking that extra kind of punch. Maybe it's the gaps in the vocal lines. They go like da 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 now, something like that. I feel like that might drag it back a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm a bit undecided. Let's see what the middleweight's like. But I think with this in general, I think it started off really strong with the strings and then that kind of suspense, and then we went into this R&B thing, and I feel like this R&B landscape we've arrived in isn't delivering as impactfully as I would have hoped. So let's keep going. Let's see what this middle 8 is like. Can they save it? Okay, good backing vocals. Nice. We should keep the backing vocals going.
Sometimes I boost, sometimes I fall.
Right. There's a lot to say about this musically, I think. I think the outer thirds of the song were really quite strong, but that's because there was no beat. I think it might be the beat that's let this down slightly. I do like that 2000s R&B touch in there with the change up in the hi-hat. That's very typical of kind of Timbaland, Missy Elliott, that style, which I like. It's a bit of nostalgia. I think it is the chorus that slightly drags it back, and we had a taste of those really nice gospel harmonies in there, which I felt like was a taste, but it could have been more of a flavour. I would have liked it to be a little bit louder, maybe thicker, more at the forefront of the track, because that really would have propelled it forward a bit more. I think it was really lacking in that push. It needed something really spectacular, I think, to kind of drive it more, and it was missing that element. It was kind of like playing with it a bit, but it didn't go the full way. So that has kind of left me a little disappointed. But then again, there's these really nice elements in there too, like that opening. It was so captivating, and I like how his voice can kind of go all these places, these heights that a lot of the other singers probably couldn't reach. I just think, knowing the capabilities of the voice, we could have had a slightly stronger track. And I do think it is that drum beat. I think the pattern of the drum was quite nice, but it could have been a little bit more powerful, a bit more kick drum in there. Yeah, it felt quite processed. It didn't feel like a real drum was being played. It felt like it had been programmed on a computer or on a recording software. So I do think it could have packed a little bit of an extra punch if we had a real drum. But that being said, these are minor critiques. But I think with Belgium, they tend to go down this dark and moody route when it comes to Eurovision, just in the past kind of 10 years or so. And I do like that. But if you're going to go in this direction, you've got to really convince the listener that they want to invest in this song. And I'm not fully convinced. I think he kind of pitched it half to me, but I don't feel like if I was making an investment in this, for instance, I wouldn't put down a deposit. It's a silly analogy to make. But I am impressed with some of the aspects of this. Don't get me wrong, just me being a little bit critical about some of the things in here doesn't mean I don't like the song. It has its good things about it, so I'm not going to completely kind of crash down on this. So in terms of a score out of 10, basing on everything I've said so far, I think a 7 out of 10 is a solid mark for this, because it does deserve a bit of praise, but it's not quite enough for me to kind of put it up in there in my top rankings. So those are my thoughts so far. Let me know down below what you guys think as well, because I always read your comments and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and stay tuned for much more content coming this weekend. We've still got 8 more songs to review on my channel. I hope you guys have a good week ahead. Bye.